Welcome back to part 3 of Constructed Accumulated Knowledge. In part 3, we'll be making a couple changes to the deck, and we'll be going through another league match on Magic Online. Hopefully we'll be able to see the direction that the changes have taken the deck, and we'll be able to see how the new modern metagame is shaping up. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And welcome back to part 3 of Constructed Accumulated Knowledge, and here we are for the games with a poor 7-card hand that we're going to have to mulligan. We don't have any blue mana to find more lands with, so we're going to mulligan 6. This 6-card hand is great. Got some lands. We've got Young Pyromancer. Yeah, 6-card hand is great. I will keep Mana Leak on top. Unknown opponent, I like having a wide range of things, and if it's a deck where Mana Leak is no good, we can always Thought Scour it away. Alright, just going to play land, throw it back. Hope for something interesting and interactive and not Lantern. Simian Spirit Guide entered the Exile Zone. Dredge? Chalice of the Void for 1. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. I do want the Mana Leak, so I think I want to cast Lightning Bolt in response. Can't take it with you when you go. So yeah, we can use the Thought Scour to make Pyromancer tokens, and I think the 3 points of damage will be relevant at some point. Better than... I wanted to keep the Mana Leak, so it would have just been a replacement effect. They could Blood Moon. We have basic Swamp, basic Island. Blood Moon doesn't really do anything to us right now. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get the Pyromancer into play. So many of our cards do almost nothing when Chalice of the Void on 1 is resolved that I think it's important that we can turn them into 1/1s. Is this Dan's deck? Oh, this is good. It didn't do anything. It could be Dan's deck. It's a Collective Brutality. Gonna go ahead and attack for 2. Mana Leak is going to be pretty good here. Usually good against decks like this. Whatever this is. We'll find out. Alright, so yeah, this is... All things considered, this is a reasonable spot to be in. Getting Chalice is never good, but... There's going to be... a Steam Vents or Sacred Foundry? I'm not sure. I was initially thinking Red-White Prison. But I don't know for sure. It's a Stomping Ground. Oh, they could be the Ponza deck? There's a deck. It's Fringe. It's like red-green land destruction. It's very not good. Alright. Now, in real life, you could say, Thought Scour you, and they have to remember their Chalice trigger or whatever. But in Magic Online life, it just gets countered. But it turns into a 1/1, which is sweet. Alright. That also gets countered. But whatever. Just living life. I thought we were going to get Anger of the Gods, and when we didn't, I was very happy. Alright. I think that there's some... I'm going to keep this Serum Visions for the time being. Use it to discard to Collective Brutality at a later date. Also, there's a small chance we draw Colligan's Command, and then can kill the Chalice and actually use it to draw some cards. You got Mismatched Stomping Grounds. Mucho style points for our opponent. Oh, they're casting something? They're kind of cool. Oh, yeah. Tribelder. So they're just Valakut, but have... Yeah, Tribelder is Simian Spirit Guides in their deck. So they showed Simian Spirit Guides, so it's possible that they could exile to pay for it. I think that the likelihood that they have a Titan or something is pretty high. So I think I'm just going to let that resolve. Just attack with that. Our Mana Leak is really working hard here. It's pretty good. They're still probably going to sacrifice. Yep. It's great. We get to end the turn Thought Scour. And life is alright right now. Getting Chalice is never good. But this is one of the interesting things about this deck is that Young Pyromancer is nice because you can just cash out your irrelevant cards from Chalice. Got a third Stomping Ground. Alright, so I'm pretty convinced this is a Valakut deck at the moment. We're going to get to Mana Leak Primeval Titan here. Life is great. Mana Leak your Primeval Titan. This is great because now we don't have to put the mana constraints on us anymore. And we feel free to cast Brutality and take their Scape Shift if they have one to follow up with. I'm gonna cast Thought Scour, target them. It's gonna get countered. Alright. Gonna cast Brutality. Escalate. Drain and Bad Duress. And cast. That guy. Or that person. Alright, I'll take a Summoner's Pact. I'm not going to die, which is cool. Attack our opponent to 2. And it's probably likely that there's nothing better to do with this than cast it for a token. Yeah, it's fine with me. Get a token. Don't draw Anger of the Gods, please. Don't draw Anger of the Gods. Alright. Even if they do, they're dead to Call Against Command. They're dead to a number of things. Electrolyze. Yeah. If they have something that's not Primeval Titan, Hornet Queen or something weird like that, or Primeval Titan, that's fine. We're alive. Oh, they have Valakut. Oh, that's pretty good. I think we still have enough tokens that we could, or creatures that we can just get through here. So they get a Valakut and a Mountain, 2 triggers. They're still dead. Pretty sure they're still dead. So I do some math wrong. Yep. 2 triggers. Yep. And just attack for lethal next turn. Unless something weird happens. Yeah. Alright. Alright. And that's game 1. To board in some great cards here and upgrade some bad ones. Thoughtseize should be good. Counter Scroll will be good. Saw Summoner's Pact, so Dispel is reasonable. Crumble to Dust, of course. Because of the density of expensive things and the amount of time we're leaving up counterspells, I like the Lighthouse as well. Brutality is also good. Lots of things are good here. And make some cuts. Alright, 8. I just boarded in 8 cards. I guess you could... See, I board in Surgical often enough in this matchup. I think it's okay with Fulminator Mage or something else like that. But I don't like boarding it in if Crumble is our hate. Because in that case, you already exile Valakut and have no reason for the additional bonus from Surgical. With like Molten Rain or Crumble, I like Surgical because it gets all their Valakuts. You can Mana Leak it Titan and then Surgical it. But I generally think that we'll be able to beat 6/6 Tramplers for 6 if they get the Valakuts. The other thing about Surgical is that you can crumble them. You can Thought Scour them and then Surgical them, which is irrelevant some non-zero amount of the time. I like trimming a Bolt because something's got to give here. Electrolyze, not great. Call Against Command, less good than it usually is, just because of Obstinate Baloth, which they often bring in. I like all the Delve creatures a great deal. I'm not sold on Dispel. It's good with Summoner's Pact. It's really good with Through the Breach. I think in the dark, or it's really good against Through the Breach and Summoner's Pact. Sorry. I think in the dark, I'm gonna bring it in. But if I don't see any Through the Breaches and see Scapeshift instead and lose or whatever, I could see cutting it. We got kind of a glut on 2. I don't hate trimming a Snapcaster because it's only really good if you draw a bunch of lands. Another Lightning Bolt. I think generally be bad against Chalice on 1 and will be good enough to close them out. Just counter or kill everything they do. One more cut. Could be the cut, literally. Could be the counter squall. Again, counter squall is so good against Scapeshift that I think I'm going to keep it in. It's weird that I crumble. Like with crumble, I think that I'm supposed to leave in some number of terminates. I got to make a cut. Alright, Culligan's Command's out. Alright, submit deck. There we go. Close. I haven't played this matchup in a while. My sideboarding flexes back and forth a little bit. We have a no-lander mulligan. Tilt. This hand's great. Do I want another land? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to be casting spells for a while, yep. I like that. No, turn 1 Chalice, please. Oh, no, turn 1 Chalice again. Tilt. No, just, suspend search for tomorrow. That's great. That's so much better than turn 1 Chalice. I am very happy. This is a happy daddy. See? Alright. Gonna leave up Spell Snare here. As Thoughtseize is good going late, but the window in which that Spell Snare matters closes pretty rapidly. You really want to stop their explosive draws too. Oh, they just have a slow hand? Alright. Alright. I'd like a threat. Can we get a threat? Think here. Oh, the school of thought that involves like not allowing yourself to be at 18 so that Scapeshift doesn't do anything is like nonsense. You just need to like play your spells. So like I don't actually subscribe to that. That was really a thing against blue Scapeshift because it made them like take a whole nother turn to kill you and they couldn't like naturally kill you when the game went long or whatever. But this, I don't know, I just don't think doing that is real. People think that's a thing and it's just better off to just play your spells. Just side note there. Taking a little bit of time thinking about this turn. Probably going to time out again and tilt off, but I think I'm just going to shock and pass. Really put the fear in them. End a turn. As I can still cast Spell Snare and end a turn Thought Scour. Then see, if we get Obstinate Baloth here, we could always Murderous Cut. I'm not too worried about that. I don't see anything that really scares me at the moment. I think it is pretty likely that they have a 2 because they just had the tap land. And yes, this is a fantastic target for Spell Snare. Oh my god, I get Summoning Trapped and die. And a turn, Thought Scour us. Milled Visions and Leak, drew another land. Alright, not too bad. Can we get a threat, please? Terminate. Nonsense. Alright. I'm going to cast Thoughtseize now. Want to spend my mana. You're just going to breach us next turn? That's crazy. That is crazy! We almost died. Wait, they just could have done it? They could have done it that turn. Huh. And I'm going to take Primeval Titan. That was crazy. Play land and pass. So their hand is 2 Spirit Guides, Farseek, and Through the Breach. Farseek is good. It's important that Valakut and they drew Stomping Ground was part of their draw because that means that Crumble is very live should we draw it. gonna get Blood Crypt here. So we have basic island. I'm not gonna pay 2 life. I like having Terminate and Cut Up in the event that they do draw a threat. Snapcaster Mage is a good one. I think I'm just gonna leave it up though. I might end a turn Snapcaster Mage, Thought Scour. There's Mana Leak there too, so in case they draw. Hand right now is whatever they drew for turn, 2 Spirit Guides, and Breach. Opponent is tanking or timing out, much like I want to do. What are we seeing here? Oh, the old hard cast. All right, that's fine. Life's great when that's happening. I think I'm fine with taking 2 from this nonsense creature. Fire off Terminate, end of turn, or maybe just ignore it. Tribe Elder is approaching. I like Snapcaster Spell Snare here, just because I don't want them to get to natural Valakut. There we go. No reason to cast our bolt yet. Ooh, good one. Sometimes you just run good. Yeah. All these weird stops that we have. Going to tap our Spire Bluff Canal for red in the if they randomly have choke, but I doubt that. Crumble to dust your Valakut. And this card's really good against Valakut. I generally don't play that card, but I 2, 3 them all. Have anything crazy in there? I've seen Hornet Queen before. 3 more Titans. Alright, choose cards to exile. All 4 of them. Yep. Looking pretty good here for us, for our hero. I think I'm just going to take that damage again. They don't have any reach anymore without natural Valakut. Anything better than taking that damage. Probably just going to cast another Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah. Yep. I am going to bolt this one though. Kind of odd, but I want to use my mana well, and I want to be able to beat if they draw a Titan. The better removal spells are better if they draw Obstinate Veil with their Titan. Gonna cast this for escalate. We will be. Do we care about through the reach? No. I'm gonna drain you and kill your creature. Keep the Murderous Cut because it's better if they top deck Chalice, and it's much better at managing our graveyard to make our Tasker activations better in the future. Their hand now is Through the Breach and 2 unknown. I should know their hand because I just crumbled them. Whatever. Should have paid attention to that. Alright. So this is pretty indicative of a good matchup when you draw your cards in the right order. We're a little light on pressure this game. Anger of the Gods is fine. Farseek is also fine. Their hand is just through the breach. Okay. Need to draw a threat here. Come on, threat. Come on. Tassiger is what we need to draw here. Opponent is on the ropes. Maybe we'll just die to natural Titan attacks. They'll just rip 3 Titans in a row. Play that land out. Doesn't matter too much at the time. A little bad if we draw a Lighthouse, but I like having the land if I draw a Delver. Yep. See if this game grinded long. This can occasionally happen, and if this happened and they have the ability to naturally Valakut you, you're like almost guaranteed to lose if you don't present a clock. But when they're crumbled and can't Valakut you, it's so difficult for them to win. Just great shape. Hand is just reactive, but that's okay. We have a high density of threats in our deck, and basically one wins the game within reason. There's a Snapcaster Mage. That's a good one. Be casting it. I'm going to leave my fetch land tapped. Or, I mean open, sorry. Even though it might mess up our Serum Visions because we can cast Dispel or Counter Squall. Drew Tassiger. Bottom both. Very good. Play Tassiger. Removing. Don't think I need any more crumbles. Brutality. Scour. Delta. And yeah, Leak is I don't have, yeah, Leak's not really that good either. Alright. And Pit of Black that's floating. And that's great. It's a very good turn for us. Just gonna Dispel here in case they drew a Titan. Just safer. Pretty academic from this point. They did draw a Titan. Okay. It's better than a hasty Titan. Bunch of mountains. And nothing. Chalice of the Void for 1. Sure. End step, we're gonna fetch out a Watery Grave. To pay 2 life. Nah, just to be safe. Let's not pay 2 life. Oh, duh, whatever. That way we can delve away more 1s. So our Tassiger activations are better. Kind of cool. Delve all the 1s away. And it's great. Activate Tassiger end of turn. It'd be really annoying if they drew a Titan. But we could always like gang block it and just get back to parity. And that's that. And we win the match. Hey, we're back with a conclusion for Constructed Accumulated Knowledge, and we learned some stuff from that match. It was pretty good to win one after losing the first two for sure. But we got some interesting stuff happened. We drew Crumble, and it was shown exactly how good it is against the Valakut decks. The difference between a 3-mana land destruction spell and a 4-mana one is pretty obvious against a deck like Tron and puts a ton of pressure on your mana leaks, but it's much better in matchups that Valakut and Scapeshift decks and Red-Green Valakut decks. So that was obvious as we cast Crumble and basically couldn't lose after that. And game one was pretty interesting too, in that they had Chalice of the Void main deck, which is not exactly normal. It's not unheard of, but I wouldn't say it's par for the course. And they had turn 1 Chalice of the Void with Simian Spirit Guide, and we were able to mitigate the damage from a normally crippling Chalice by just turning our dead spells into tokens with Young Pyromancer and racing them, and they didn't draw one of their 2 copies of Anger, which I assume they have main deck, as most of them do. But like even then, you're not really going all in. Like what can you do? You just have these cards that don't do anything. So it makes a ton of sense to play it that way, and we were able to get lucky there. We saw the mana leak got tightened when we needed it to, and game 1 was pretty academic in that regard. Game 2, we didn't really have much of a clock, and like I said, we drew the Crumble, and it worked out great. But basically, when you don't have a clock, it's usually bad for you, but then the inevitability that they present in the natural Valakut draw, or just eventually being able to get around your counter spells, is mitigated pretty seriously by the Crumble taking out their long game and, taking out their combo finish. So then you just have to be able to beat a couple of awkwardly giant creatures that don't really do much of anything, and that's not too hard, which is why I left in the Terminate and the Cut. Make sure I don't lose to a, just a vanilla Titan. But, yeah, so that was a good one, and thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you like this type of stuff. I'm going to be trying to do some more of it in the future. So, yeah, thanks again. Kevin Jones from Kerwin's Game Store, signing off. Peace.